every student and family is valued, treated with dignity, and experience a true sense of belonging. At OCO, we believe that people closest to our communities, challenges carry essential wisdom and must be central to shaping the solutions. This is why we develop parent and youth leaders, build authentic partnerships with school districts and community organizations, and create meaningful opportunities for students and families to be heard. Belonging means more than simply being invited into the room. It means knowing that your experiences matter, your voice carries weight, and you have the power to help shape the decisions affecting your school and community. When students and families are recognized as partners, not just participants, we can build schools where everyone has the opportunity to learn, thrive, and contribute. It is an honor to welcome you as we celebrate a historic milestone for our students, families, schools, and community. Today, we celebrate California's historic $1 billion in ongoing investments for community schools, a victory that did not happen accidentally. I would like to begin by acknowledging the many people who are here with us today. Thank you to our elected officials from Anaheim Elementary and Anaheim Union High School Districts, our leadership from both District, Anaheim Union, and Anaheim Elementary, our superintendents, our Orange County Department of Educational partners, I saw Val here, our staff, our California Partnership for the Future of Learning partners. Thank you, Katrina, for being here from Catalyst. We also have labor partners that include ASTA and CTA. Thank you, Grant, for being here. Our educators, our school staff, our community and organizations, members of the media, OCO parents and student leaders, and everyone who has joined us this morning. But most importantly, I want to thank the parents and students. Because of your presence this morning, this has been made possible. Your voice, your stories, and your leadership have been the heart of this movement. This victory belongs to you just as much as it belongs to anyone standing behind us in this podium today. Thank you to our OCO parent leaders and students for their advocacy. It is especially meaningful that we gather here today in front of the historic Cook Auditorium at Anaheim High School, a place where generations of students have learned, grown, and graduated. Community schools are not simply programs located on a school campus. They're a way of bringing students, families, educators, and communities together to share power, build authentic partnerships, and create the conditions for every student to belong and thrive. California's historic $1 billion ongoing investment in community schools was earned through years of organizing by parents, students, educators, teachers union, school districts, community organizations, and statewide partners who believe that every child deserves more than access to school. They deserve a school where they are seen, supported, and valued. Our local work helped shape a statewide movement that will now impact thousands of schools and millions of students across California. Today, you'll hear from leaders representing every part of that journey, from statewide advocacy to district leadership, from parent leadership to student leadership, because community schools succeed when everyone has a seat at the table and shares responsibility for creating the schools our children deserve. It is now my honor to introduce our first speaker, Katrina Bullock from Catalyst, California, and representing the California Partnership for the Future of Learning, whose leadership has helped advance community schools across California, and whose partnership has been instrumental in helping secure this historic investment. With that, I invite Katrina to come up.
Good morning. My name is Katrina Bullock, and I'm here representing Catalyst California, an anchor organization of the California Partnership for the Future of Learning, aligned to advance racial equity through power building and public policy. Today, we are here to celebrate California's historic investment to sustain and expand community schools across the state, a bold commitment to the future of California students, families, and communities. In a moment where safe spaces of belonging are stripped away, and access to basic needs like housing and healthcare are under threat, community schools offer something different. Teachers, staff, and principals are building authentic relationships with students and families through collaboration in classrooms and throughout the community. Authentic relationships and shared decision-making transform schools into places where students and families can organize, build power, and create solutions to the challenges they face. Community schools are redefining education in California. A social worker who understands what a family is going through, a counselor when a student needs support, a liaison who connects parents to resources. This is what community schools look like. Together, these supports create schools grounded in trust, belonging, and joy, so every student has the opportunity to thrive. With this ongoing investment, thousands more students will have access to exactly that. And the data backs it up. California community schools have one of the strongest evidence bases for any state education initiative in the country. They've reduced chronic absenteeism by 30%, lowered suspension rates by 15%, delivered meaningful learning gains for Black students and English learners, and added more than 130 additional learning days for students. Here in Orange County, student and community leaders have shown us firsthand what the community schools approach makes possible. Students at Anaheim involved in OCO's youth leadership program, including Frida Sanchez and Coraline Salazar, hey, shout out, organized their peers to win a real voice in a school scheduling decision, hanging posters, gathering signatures, and putting shared decision-making into practice, all led by students. They collaborated with the school and other students like Maite Reyes to start their own community schools club here in Anaheim. Their message was simple. They wanted every student to feel represented and heard in the decisions that shape their learning. Through collaboration with community partners like OCO and the district, community schools offered a structure for students to act on the decisions that shape their community. This is what this investment protects and what it brings to thousands more schools. Now, with this ongoing annual $1 billion investment, California will expand the community school strategy to as many as 3,700 more schools, ensuring more students and families across the state have the opportunity to transform their education. This win didn't happen overnight. For years, the California Partnership for the Future of Learning has worked with a broad network of grassroots organizers, policy advocates, and education leaders to advance a shared vision of racially just, relationship-centered schools. Today, we celebrate a victory earned through years of coordinated organizing and advocacy across the state. This achievement belongs to the expansive network of youth, families, community partners, educators, and staff leaders whose vision for a stronger, inclusive public education system made this annual investment possible. As California expands funding to community schools across rural, urban, and suburban communities in the state, we must ensure that shared decision-making and authentic partnerships remain at the heart of implementation. We must see the same relationships and leadership seen here in Anaheim reflected in every community school across the state. The California Partnership for the Future of Learning will continue to partner with communities, educators, and system leaders to ensure high-quality implementation for new and continuing community school sites. Together, we've proven what is possible, and now we must ensure community schools remain places where all students, families, and educators, just like the ones right here in Anaheim, can experience joy, celebration, and belonging in their school. Thank you, and congratulations to all who made this historic victory possible. Now I invite Superintendent of the Anaheim Union High School District, Dr. Jaron Freed, to speak.
Well, good morning. Good morning. It is an absolute honor to stand before you today on the steps of the historic Cook Auditorium here at Anaheim High School, celebrating the state's historic investment in our community schools. I want to speak specifically about the impact that it will have on our local community, specifically Anaheim Union. I want to first begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to the Anaheim Union High School District Board of Trustees. Here today is our Board President, Jessica Guerrero. We have Trustee Anne Marie Randall Trejo, Trustee Ron Hoshi, Trustee Dr. Paula Dallas, and I know Brian O'Neill, Trustee, could not be with us today. But it is thanks to them and their unwavering support, their courageous vision, and their steadfast commitment to the community school model. Because of your leadership, AOHD has not only dreamed of what is possible for you, we've begun to build the infrastructure to make those dreams a reality. It should be noted that Board President Jessica Guerrero and Trustee Anne Marie Randall Trejo, through the California School Boards Association, advocated for community schools at the state level as delegates for the Orange County region. I also want to express my profound gratitude to the incredible staff brilliantly led by Carlos Hernandez, Kenny Perez, and Araceli Chavez, as well as the extraordinary work of our District Community Schools Steering Committee. This committee truly exemplifies shared leadership in action, elevating the vital voices of our students, parents, teachers, administrators, and community partners. I'd like to acknowledge our partnership with our Anaheim Secondary Teacher Associations and our amazing community school teacher leads, community school coordinators, and site administrators who work tirelessly to lead this work for our district. And lastly, I want to acknowledge the community partners, our local elected officials who have played a vital role in supporting our schools and community. Thank you to our entire Anaheim City Council. I want to recognize Council Member Kristen Moss, who's with us today. I also want to recognize Council Member Carlos Leon, a former graduate of our district, who has also been vital in supporting this work. Thanks also goes to Assemblymember Sharon Silva, Assemblymember Avelino Valencia, former graduate, Senator Tom Unberg, State Superintendent Tony Thurman, who has personally come to Anaheim to see our community school work in action at Sycamore Junior High, and Congressman Lou Correa. It is because of this deep collective work that AUHD has been recognized statewide as one of only 3 deep dive transformational districts in California and a national leader in this movement. We take this responsibility seriously, and today is a validation of the path we have chartered together. We are here to celebrate a historic milestone, a $1 billion investment in ongoing annual funding for community schools across California. This monumental victory does not happen overnight, and it did not happen in a vacuum. It is a direct result of the organizing, partnership, and shared leadership. It belongs to the coalition of students, our families, educators, union partners like ASTA and CTA, our community organizers like our partners with OCO and the California Partnership for Future Learning, who refused to settle for the status quo and work hand in hand to help reshape public education. So now, what does this historic investment, ongoing investment, mean for AUHD and our community? Well, for our students, it means campuses see and honor them as whole people. It provides resources that support their academic ambitions while explicitly nurturing their mental health, well-being, and personal growth. It reminds us that we focus our instructional pedagogy on community-based learning. For our families, it ensures our schools remain vibrant hubs within our community, places where parents, families, and caregivers are true partners in education and can access vital services directly in their neighborhood. It means they have a voice and a seat at the table when making decisions. For our educators, it provides the sustainable, permanent resources needed to collaborate, innovate, and deliver high-quality, culturally responsive education that our students deserve. And as we look into the future, this investment allows us to fully realize our vision. It ensures that we can sustain and expand inclusive and equitable spaces where every single student feels a profound sense of dignity and belonging. It allows us to strengthen the pipeline to support our amazing feeder elementary districts, like the Anaheim Elementary School District, who's here with us today, all the way through high school graduation, ensuring no student or family falls through the cracks. This $1 billion investment in this victory proves that when we organize, partner, and lead together, we transform public education. The future of our community is brighter because of the collective work we're celebrating here today. I want to thank you, and let's continue to move this work forward. It is now my pleasure to introduce teacher in our district and member of the California Teacher Association School Board, Grant Schuster.
Good morning, everyone. It is an honor to be here, something so very close to my heart with community schoolers. I've been in the district 31 years and was the past president of the Teachers Union when we began this process of building our community schools. I want to thank everyone here today. It's important to understand that without students and parents and community partners, the district leadership, and our educators, community schools cannot happen. And a special shout out to OCO for organizing this, who along with Ocapica and Los Amigos were immediately on board with helping create this model in a space that traditionally hasn't had the trust between leadership and community that public schools should. In this process, we have developed not just services that address whole student and family needs in the community, but also look to develop culturally relevant and community relevant curriculum to serve our students in the classroom. More important than this, and what often can get overlooked, is the structures, the systems and structures that have been built that make sure that everyone at the table has their voices heard and is part of the decision-making process. So when we discover where our gaps are between our needs and assets that we have in our community, we look at it together and we decide what are the possible programs that we can bring onto our campuses and bring out into the community to support our families and support our students. And then, once we have created those, we implement them together. We are there side by side, making sure that all of these needs are met and that our students and families have the best opportunity to succeed. And once those are implemented, we don't leave it at that. We follow up and we reflect together to continue to build trust in a program and a process that is completely transforming public schools around California. And this continues to build the foundation of democracy in our country, and that is the neighborhood public school. So I look forward to continuing this journey with all of you in this community, from students to parents to community partners and district administrators. We are doing a phenomenal job, and not only are we doing this for our community, but we took it upon ourselves to make sure that we brought in dozens of districts and communities from around the state and around the country that come here several times a year to see the hard work that we are doing, to see the process that we continue to implement, so that we can make sure that students around the country have access to the kinds of phenomenal resources, educators, and community partners that we have here in Anaheim. So I thank you all for being part of this and look forward to a really bright future for our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Now we're going to invite Amy Arellano, parent leader with OCO, with Anaheim Union High School District and Anaheim Elementary.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Amy Arellano, soy una mamá de 4 hijos, 3 orgullosamente graduados de Anaheim High School y uno en este año que inició en Sycamore Junior. Soy madre líder en la escuela Edison con el distrito escolar de Anaheim Elementary AESD. Soy líder con OCO y parte de California Partnership por el futuro del aprendizaje. Para mí esta inversión histórica de $1 billón anuales para las escuelas comunitarias representó mucho más que recursos, representó esperanza, representa la tranquilidad de saber que cuando un estudiante o una familia encuentra dificultades, la escuela tendrá las herramientas y el compromiso para acompañarlos. Un lugar de dejar que esos desafíos se conviertan en un obstáculo para la educación de nuestros hijos. Yo lo sé porque lo he vivido. Las escuelas comunitarias me enseñaron que el éxito de un estudiante no depende solamente de lo que pasa dentro del salón de clases, también depende de que las familias nos sientamos escuchadas, apoyadas y valoradas como verdaderos aliados en la educación de nuestros hijos. En este camino conocí a OCO, un lugar seguro donde encontré comunidad, apoyo y liderazgo. Ahí aprendí a transformar el miedo en esperanza, la preocupación en participación y mi voz en acción. Durante la pandemia comprendí que muchas familias estaban enfrentando los mismos desafíos y que necesitábamos algo diferente. Cuando conocí el modelo de escuelas comunitarias, pensé, esto es lo que ya estamos construyendo en la escuela Edison y en nuestra comunidad, a través de las relaciones, la confianza y la colaboración. Y también pensé, esto es lo que todas las escuelas deberían tener. Junto con otros padres, estudiantes, educadores y líderes comunitarios, nos organizamos para compartir nuestras experiencias y las necesidades que vivían nuestras familias en ambos distritos de Anaheim. Gracias a ese trabajo colectivo logramos importantes cosas como el apoyo para el transporte escolar en 3 escuelas, porque entendíamos que llegar seguros a la escuela no es un privilegio, es una necesidad para que nuestros estudiantes puedan aprender y nuestras familias tengan tranquilidad. Hace casi 4 años inicié este camino. Desde entonces he aprendido que nuestras historias tienen poder y que cuando las familias participamos en las decisiones, logramos cambios reales. Como madre estoy convencida de que nadie conoce mejor las necesidades que una comunidad que vivimos lo que vivimos todos los días. Por eso las familias no deben ser solamente invitadas a participar, debemos ser reconocidas como socios en la toma de decisiones. Esta gran inversión también reconoce el esfuerzo de estudiantes, de familias, educadores, organizaciones comunitarias, líderes escolares y aliados de todo California, que nunca creen que otra forma de hacer escuela era posible. Hoy celebramos una victoria porque nuestro trabajo no termina aquí. Ahora nos corresponde hacer realidad esa promesa, asegurarnos de que estos recursos lleguen a quien más lo necesitan y que las voces de las familias, los estudiantes sigan guiando el camino. Porque cuando las familias son escuchadas, los estudiantes prosperan, las escuelas se fortalecen y nuestras comunidades tienen un mejor futuro. Muchas gracias. Ahora se lo voy a pasar al superintendente del distrito de las escuelas primarias de Anaheim, señor Echeverría.
Well, good morning, everyone. Buenos dias a todos. It is a pleasure for me to be here this morning to celebrate this historic milestone for California students, families, and communities. On behalf of the Anaheim Elementary School District, I want to thank OCO, the many community organizations represented here today, our elected leaders, and everyone whose years of advocacy made this moment possible. I also want to recognize our Board of Education for its continued commitment to supporting our students and families. And this morning we have our Board President, Ms. Jackie Philbeck. Thank you for being here. I also want to recognize our dedicated staff, school leaders, teachers, classified employees, and community partners who work each day to bring the vision of community schools to life. Achievements like this, like it was shared earlier, do not happen overnight. They happen because people come together around a shared belief that every child has the opportunity to succeed. For Anaheim Elementary, this $1 billion ongoing investment is about much more than funding. What this means to us is that we can continue building strong partnerships with our families, that we can expand our student supports to make sure that they feel safe and valued, and it ensures that all 23 of our schools continue to implement the community schools framework. Community schools remind us that student success is never the responsibility of schools alone. When educators, families, community organizations, local agencies, and students themselves work together, we create the conditions where every child has the opportunity to succeed, not just academically, but socially, emotionally, and personally. At Anaheim Elementary, our mission is to ensure that every child succeeds. That begins with strong instruction and high expectations in literacy and math. But we know that students learn best when they feel safe, connected, supported, and valued. This investment in community schools allows us to continue strengthening those supports through meaningful family partnerships, integrated services, expanded opportunities for student voice, in collaboration with organizations that know and serve our community so well. I want to recognize that this accomplishment reflects the power of partnership. Organizations like OCO have helped elevate the voices of families and communities while working alongside school districts towards a common purpose, a shared commitment to improving the lives of children and families. This investment is proof of what is possible when we work together towards a common goal. Looking ahead, I believe this funding gives us both an opportunity and a responsibility. It challenges us to think differently about how we serve students, not simply through individual programs, but by building systems that truly place students and families at the center of every decision. It calls on all of us to continue listening, collaborating, and creating schools where every child feels connected, supported, and empowered to succeed. As we begin the next chapter, my hope is that we never lose sight of why this investment matters. It matters because behind every dollar is a child with dreams, a family with hopes, and a community that believes education can change lives. At Anaheim Elementary, our theme for this school year is Together We Rise. To me, those three words capture exactly why we're here today. This historic investment reminds us that no one organization, no one school district, and no one leader can do this work alone. When schools, families, community, organizations, educators, and public leaders rise together, our students rise with us. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your advocacy. And thank you for your commitment to ensuring that every child has the opportunity to succeed. Y como se dice, sí se pudo. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker is Coraline Salazar, junior here at Anaheim High School.
Good morning. My name is Caroline Salazar, and I'm a junior here at Anaheim High School. I am proud to serve as a student leader here at Anaheim with OCO and the State Student Advisory Board for Community Schools, representing the Southern Coast. My journey with community schools began in 8th grade through OCO. At first, I didn't know what a community school was, but quickly I learned that it is more than just a program. It's a commitment to making sure students, families, educators, and community partners have a voice in shaping our school. When I came to Anaheim High School, I experienced that difference firsthand. Our community school's resource center became the place where students and families felt welcome, supported, and connected. It showed me that what happens when a school invests not only in academics but in people and relationships. As I became more involved, I realized that students and families aren't just meant to participate, we're meant to lead. We have ideas, experiences, and solutions that deserve to be heard. That's why 5 other students and I started the Anaheim High School Community Schools Club, so more students could learn about community schools and become leaders in creating the kind of school where everyone feels they belong. Through OCO, I also had the opportunity to travel to Sacramento and share my story with state leaders. I spoke about community schools and how they gave me opportunities I never imagined and showed me that young people can help shape and affect our lives. Today we are celebrating California's historic $1 billion ongoing investment in community schools. This victory happens because students and families, educators, school districts, and community organizers came together with a vision that every student deserves to belong. Every family deserves to be heard, and every school can thrive when we lead together. But today is not the finish line, it is the beginning. My hope is that we continue investing in students and families, not only with funding, but by trusting our voices and giving us meaningful opportunities to lead. When you invest in us, you're investing in stronger schools, stronger communities, and stronger future for California. Thank you. I will now pass it on to Nancy.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Before we conclude, let's give one more round of applause to all of our amazing speakers. Now, today, we heard from statewide leaders, district superintendents, student leader. Although each brought a different perspective, they all shared one powerful thing. Community schools work because we lead together. This historic $1 billion ongoing investment is much more than a budget victory. It is a victory for every parent who believed their voice mattered, every student who courageously shared their story, every educator who opened their classroom to partnership, every district leader who chose collaboration, and every community organization that refused to give up on the vision that our schools can and should be places where everyone belongs. Here in Anaheim and across Orange County, we've shown what is possible when families, students, educators, labor partners, school districts, and community organizations come together around a shared purpose. Together, we didn't just advocate for funding. We helped reimagine what public education can look like. Because community schools are not simply programs located on a school campus. They are a commitment to shared leadership. They are a promise that students and families are not just recipients of services, but partners in shaping the future of their schools. Today we celebrate, but tomorrow the work continues. This investment will only reach its full potential if we continue to invest in the people who made it possible. We must continue to trust students to lead, empower families to make decisions, support educators, and strengthen the partnerships that brought us here. At OCO, we know that lasting change doesn't happen to communities. It happens with communities. Our commitment is to continue bringing students, families, educators, school districts, and community partners together to turn this historic investment into lasting opportunities for every child. Because the true success of community schools will not be measured by dollars invested, but by the lives transformed and the community created. On behalf of OCO, thank you all of our speakers, our district partners, our elected officials, our leaders, our families and students, and everyone who joined us today. A special shout out to our parent ambassadors here at Anaheim High School for helping us with the waters. Ms. Andrea Rodriguez back there, Community Schools Coordinator, amazing support. Mr. John Bautista for all his support. The Anaheim Union High School District for all of their support with the logistics, for partnering with us. Anaheim Elementary School District, never saying no, always staying present and being here. Our folks from Orange County Department of Ed, representatives from Orange Unified School District, and just our community here being together. If I missed someone, my apologies. And our OCO staff. Our OCO staff that's here supporting, Mr. Joseph here, helping media. And of course, our parent leaders and our student leaders. I am very thankful to work alongside all these amazing parents. Not everybody could be here today, but we're thankful for their partnership and for trusting our organization. So to close, together we organize, together we won. And together we will ensure that this investment transforms the lives of students, families, and families for generations to come. Thank you for being here.